everything is clicking and working for me. Don't judge me for my movie, and I won't judge your ass for your movie, okay? That's how we gotta rock in the conscious community, and I'm changing the names from the conscious community to the subconscious community, because the conscious community is lost. The conscious community is slow. We in the subconscious community, and when you in this club, you can do whatever the fuck you wanna do. And you can't judge nobody or point fingers. Because all they do in the conscious community is judge people and point fingers. And that's not, I'm not even a part of it. I'm a part of the subconscious community. Peace to the family, grand risings to all. Peace to everybody who's watching this video post live. Just want to wish prosperity, abundance, financial awareness, financial literacy to all. May your manifestations be in alignment with your desires, and not now, but right now. Today we're going to do something different with the daily energy readings. Since we've talked about the full moon in great detail in our live stream on Saturday, be sure to check out that article and video. The link will be in the description. And if you are able to grasp this meditation, grasp this visualization, just send me a comment. If you're watching this video post live, just put a comment on here. Let me know that you got it. Let me know that you understood what took place. And then you kind of tapped into your wealth and you tapped into your manifestation. We are no longer waiting for our realization. We are no longer hoping for our realization. We are simply embodying and expressing our visualizations. So in this conversation, we are going to do a tantric meditation and visualization based upon the goddess Vajra Yogini. Vajra Yogini is a tantric goddess, and she rules over meditation and she rules over wealth. We are also channeling her second avatar, the White Kachari. And the White Kachari is the invisible portion of your primordial purity. If you are a woman, this is your egg cells, this is your vulva. If you are a man, this is your spermatoza. And throughout this meditation, these things will become aligned. And the thing about a Vajra Yogini meditation is that it is very simple. I'm going to show images of her on the screen, and all you have to do is pay attention to the images that I'm showing you and listen to the words that I speak. The goal of this meditation, the goal of this visualization is for you to stop seeing things as ordinary. Stop seeing your life as ordinary. Stop seeing your world as ordinary. Stop seeing your partner as ordinary. Stop seeing your children as ordinary. Stop seeing your purpose as ordinary. Through the modality of visualization and meditation, Vajra Yogini's essence, just her mere essence, her mere presence, awakens the great passion within us all. And this passion is deeper than selfishness, it's deeper than illusion, it's deeper than your ego's wants and desires. So, if you have a passion that you want to enact, if you have a passion that you want to embody, and you don't know exactly what that passion is, this meditation and visualization is perfect for you. We are going to take our lower base passions that were in the ego and rise them up through our spine and project them out of our third eye, and we will have enlightened virtues. Within this meditation, within this visualization, we come to the realization that there are two truths. There is the relative truth, My name is Kyrie. I'm in Columbus, Ohio. So forth and so on. You are who you are. You do what you do. That is a relative truth. But Vajra Yogini is helping us move to an absolute truth. And the absolute truth is the purpose of this meditation and visualization. What is absolute truth? Absolute truth says that there is no deity. There is nothing. This is inexpressible. So what I'm trying to say is that completely beyond our present way of thinking, completely beyond our present way of being, is a life that is far beyond the ordinary and far beyond the extraordinary. This is very close to home, although it is beyond the physical. We are traveling into the pure and primordial energy of the soul. So throughout this meditation, just first see this deity. First see the energy that's being presented to you, and then realize that this energy is within yourself. And once you come in contact with this energy within through this meditation and visualization, understand that this is your root. This is your soul. However, I'm administering this meditation and I'm administering this visualization. This meditation and visualization has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with you and your soul. And when I reference your soul, I'm referencing you personally. Because you are the soul, you are the consciousness, you are the awareness. So now, today, in this moment, your ego and your soul can connect. So without further ado, we're going to get into this meditation. This is a very simple meditation. The only instruction is to focus on these pictures that are being shown in front of you. Now, for instance, if you're at work and you can't actually focus on these pictures, just take a quick gander and what you can remember, keep in your mind's eye throughout your day. And if you keep this in your mind's eye, then everything works out. This is a very simple meditation. Nothing is required of you besides to just simply listen to the words as we go about this meditation. And today is a full moon of the nakshatra of Bhaga. Bhaga is one of the 12 forms of the sun, or one of the 12 forms of the soul. Bhaga is ruled by the moon, who is the bringer of good fortune, good luck, and happiness. May a plentiful, flowing, and abundant supply of spiritual prosperity come your way. With all of the plentiful resources, you will become a being worthy and granted the spiritual privilege to do as you will. All of the glory and respect is bestowed upon you within this moment. Allow your inner beauty and loveliness to rise out of the core of your being. Express in this moment your spiritual superiority, your spiritual greatness, and spiritual distinction for all to see and in all you do. Give all of the love and all of the affection to your soul, as your soul greatly gives to you. In this moment, realize that pleasure that has grown from the pain in this moment. Imagine the pulsing vulva of Mother Earth, ready to provide, ready to nurture your wildest desires and wildest fantasies. Know that in every moment, every step you take, and every word you say is right and exact with your spiritual path. The only effort is found in claiming your wealth, prosperity, and abundance with no apologies. And if you are able to express this effort, you will find no desire in your heart and will be given all to you in that moment. What you understand in this moment is that your desires are keeping your desires from you. But if you were to able to embody your desires are now a reality. So today, declare supreme happiness above all things. Hold that declaration in every subsequent moment thereafter. Accept the strength that you are born with from a primordial level. Today, resist any thought of weakness and strengthen your mind throughout your day and strengthen your mind throughout your life. This moment, it is time to acknowledge your unlimited divine power above all things. In this moment, you are able to fall in love with your soul, commit to your soul, and create a new life with your soul. Acknowledge that you have a soul that is superior, that is something you must know above all things. Set an intention. Promise to love that intention, nurture and protect it with every action moving forward. Today and every day after, you have the most amazing ability to become as small as an atom, but at the very same time, become as large as an entire universe. When we forget this magical ability, we forget our wealth. So if you are having issues with money and you want to increase your wealth, reduce yourself and enlarge yourself at the same time. Exalt yourself. Exalt your inner knowing to the highest levels beyond the angels, beyond the gods, beyond the multiple universes and parallel universes, beyond the matrix, beyond the stars. Elevate yourself beyond it all. You, yes, you are a part and the whole of all creation. Sometimes you may feel like you are the smallest, yet you are the very largest part of creation. And this is what we call self-realization. This is what we call 2020. In your world, they call it census time, which means it's time to be counted. In that instance, we count our money, we count our bliss, but we never count ourselves out. You, as a soul, matter, even though there is no matter to it. And even though it creates all of the matter before you. In this moment, peace, tranquility, acceptance, imagination. Grab hold of the smallest part of you and make the biggest changes in this moment now. Utilize the energy of this full moon and every moment subsequently to tap in and continue to stay tapped in. So take a moment to reflect on the smallest part of you. Take a moment in that reflection to make the biggest changes. I'm going to leave the music playing a little louder for the next 5 minutes, and I just want people to center on something that they love. I want you to be as pure, as naked, as open, as clear as possible you can be with your spirit. And if you feel that you have a tough time meditating, you have close to 100 people on this live that can assist you in the astral world in this moment. So let us all collectively hold a moment of silence, a moment of peace, a moment of bliss, and let's all meet up in the astral world. Thank you guys for joining me during this live, and let's continue to hold this energy for the next 5 minutes, and we can continue on in the tapped in portion of this live. Thank you. as you rise up out of your meditation, be sure to give me a call, 385-799-9560. Today we were doing something different on a daily energy reading and just more or less focusing on the wealth and the divinity that we all share and that we all possess. And me doing my service to the collective to assist in bringing that energy to the forefront. Mind you, if we can get 10 people to awaken their souls, just 10 people, we can change the whole trajectory of the planet. So I don't have a very large goal. I have a very manageable goal and a huge impactful goal. And that goal is to awaken us all to our divinity. So if you have anything to share about your full moon experience, if you have any questions and regarding how you should handle this full moon energy, then please call in 385-799-9560. If you're a first time caller, let me know. If you never called, make this your first time calling in. If you called before, be sure to call in. We want to get updates. We want to know what's going on. So this is the tapped in portion of the show, 385-799-9560. How did y'all enjoy the meditation? How's your back feeling? Do you feel the energy rising up and down your spine at this present time? Are you tapped in? Is your Kundalini awakened? Is your wealth principle enacted? Is your bliss manageable, tangible, manageable? Go.
Welcome. This service is provided by freeconferencecall.com. There is one other participant in the conference. Please announce yourself.
770, you tapped in with the whole mystic. Who might I be speaking with?
Hello, this is
LA?
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm doing really good. Basking in this energy. It's really high. I feel it. I just wanted to talk to you because I've been thinking over I don't want to say pain. I just love the energy. So
Sure, LA. Is there a way like you can get to like closer to the mic?
okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you. It's starting to come in a little better.
Okay, good. I apologize. But yeah, I'm a big fan of what you do, in the community. I have never really been a spiritual person. I never really knew what tapping in really meant until I started listening to you. So now I'm just trying to center myself and, continue on with my practicing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any tips for any beginners?
Any beginners? So the first tip is remove the thought of beginner out of your mind, because
Mm-hmm.
if you are acquiescing to a spiritual lifestyle, the first thing that you have to realize is that you have many, many lifetimes where you've learned many, many things. And your goal in this lifetime is to remember. So when you feel like you're learning quote unquote new things, at the same time, you're remembering very old things. And so you have
Okay.
to reference your soul in a space of superiority, in a space of grandeur, in a space of exaltation, in a space of, imagine the most majestic human being in the world, and then times that by 1,000, and then imagine that energy being within you. And so as you progress
Okay.
through your spiritual practice, you progress in strength, you progress in wisdom, you progress in knowledge, you progress in a form of divinity that expresses the highest of all highs. When you talking about your spirit when you're talking about your soul. I'm not talking about human stuff, So that's our
Mhm.
goal in progressing from the humanity where anything goes into spirituality, where it's very clear and very distinct. It only accepts the best of the best. So in our practices, when we decide, okay, how should we go about it? Maybe it's passive, maybe it's when I get the time to, meditate and things of that nature. Why would you treat the most divine queen of all time with such passivity? Right,
That's true. That's
right.
true. I started up yoga as a way to kind of meditate and get my body centered.
Beautiful.
Um, Also, what I've noticed on this remembrance of who I am
Mm-hmm.
is that people have left me on the way, people I've known for years.
Mm-hmm.
Um, is there anything that you
Mm-hmm.
suggest in that?
It's part of the course of spiritual awakening. It's the same thing as like I've been working out and I lost weight, right? You wouldn't
Hmm.
necessarily look at the weight you lost like, oh my God, what happened? You obviously,
Hmm.
so spirituality is the same as hitting the gym. And when you hit the gym in the right way, in the right fashion, you eating right, you taking care of your body, as an analogy, you lose weight. So when you take up this spiritual practice, you are putting yourself in a frequency that if a person is not doing this work, you no longer are on that frequency. And so the more that you accept that, the better your outcome will be. When you try to lower your frequency to match people who are not doing the work, you put yourself at
Hmm.
a dangerous um, point of energy. And I reference Dangerous from this movie that I was watching. You can probably find it online. It's called Frequencies.
Hmm.
And there were people, like it was this girl, she had a high frequency, and this boy, she had a low frequency. And whenever the boy and girl would come together, they could be together for 60 seconds, and then like suitcases will fall out of the sky, you know. Electrical storms will happen, earthquakes will happen.
Hmm.
The universe will respond to the frequency, and when our frequencies was matched, everything was blissful. But when we try to
Hmm.
incorporate frequencies that are not matched with us, then the universe, so a lot of things happen existentially based upon us not understanding our frequency. I'll give you another example. In this world, in this present moment, there are people going through straight up turmoil only because they decided to invest time and energy in the news, right? And then another person don't pay
Hmm.
attention to the news, don't even know what's going on in the news, just living their normal life. So it's all about what we pay attention to, and what you pay attention to, that becomes your world. So as you're paying to spirituality, spirit is trying to show you a new world.
Hmm. Okay. Well, thank you so much. I really needed to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate you so much, brother. I'm going to let somebody else call in,
Sure,
but I
sure.
thank you so, so much.
Sure. And give yourself credit and don't beat yourself up. And then, if people don't want to deal with you and you're doing the best that you can for your life, acknowledge it and accept it, you know,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
love passionately, love with ferocity, and, love yourself first, though.
That's
Love your
right.
wants, love
That's
your
right.
needs first, and then everything takes care of itself beyond that.
Thank you so, so much, Hood Mystic. I appreciate you.
No problem, LA. You have a wonderful day.
Thank you, too.
Peace out. 718, you tapped in with the Hood Mystic.
Hello.
Yeah, 718.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hey, what's up, Hood? This is Kevin from New York.
Peace, Kevin.
Peace. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Yeah, man. Shit. Like since our reading, man, I've been a lot of ideas have been coming to me, so I'm really
You,
feeling this energy.
so you've been,
And
really working the creative space in the space of having time, and then, utilizing the creative with the practical and coming up with some interesting things?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, actually this weekend I just had like the movie Richie Rich is playing in the background, and like while
Uh-huh.
I'm reading or watching YouTube
Uh-huh.
and shit like that, and ideas start coming to me, and I want to say thank you too, and you shout out to Dreamwise with that 823 thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I've
Beautiful.
been actually listening to Pop Smoke shit and like
Mm-hmm.
shit, like making me want to dance and shit around my room.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
fuck, I'm gonna get that shit tonight. So
You know,
another
I
thing I
was
was
doing a
gonna
snake
do
dance
too,
this
like
morning. I was doing the snake dance like in the bathroom, bro, like in the mirror. I was like,
shit,
hey.
yeah, man. Because I actually like dancing, but like recently, like before the whole Pop Smoke thing, like
Hmm.
I've been really trying to get into it because I like kind of more my passion, but I never really followed through with it. So that's definitely something that got reignited in me. So definitely, and the 823 thing is interesting too. Like,
Yeah.
because even during the reading, you mentioned the whole Dionysus thing,
Hmm.
and when I was reading it up in the spirits book, he's I guess his alternate name is Bacchus.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like I guess a party deity. Because there's a show I
Oh
watch called The
shit. Oh
Magicians,
shit.
and
That's deep. Go ahead. I'm listening.
yeah, there's a show that I watch called The Magicians.
Uh-huh.
And then the magicians were trying to get into Bacchus's party,
Wow.
but they said the Bacchus is like, you can't come back until you're fun. So I was like, that's me right there. I was like, not like this shit is like I gotta be fun. I gotta do this the fun way, you know.
Right.
And then like I'm playing some of Pop Smoke shit, and then he has a song called "Welcome to the Party."
Right.
I'm like, shit, this
Right.
is talking to me right here.
Right.
So definitely gonna utilize that energy. So yeah, definitely.
Right.
And then with the creative thing, I'm gonna definitely. I have a white T-shirt. I'm gonna color that shit up gold, purple.
Hmm.
Put 823 on that shit. Dance around my room, fucking
Right.
lighting up shit.
Right.
I got liquor. I got
Right.
champagne. I'm gonna celebrate tonight.
Right.
Shit. So definitely want to thank you for that.
Yeah, and that's the
Yeah.
move, and that's the energy because I'm in that same vibe and that same spirit. And when it comes to the time and energy that we have right now, it's a space of like just simply enjoying the moment, right? And if we're able to do
Yeah.
that, then we're able to really tap into a whole nother level.
Yeah. Definitely. And definitely, like talking to you last week, like made me look at my city differently about all
Hmm.
the historical stuff that went on, like with the natives and slaves and stuff. Because even the high school I went to, like, was only a few blocks away, like 10 minutes away from me. Like that used to be a center they used for free slaves or some shit.
Okay,
So
okay.
I've been trying to research that and tie that in too. And the crazy thing with all this coronavirus shit, like in Queens where I'm at, like
Uh-huh.
I'm in Elmhurst. Right next to me is the zip code is Corona, so that shit is tying in too. And then I live on 90th Street,
Uh-huh.
and 90th Street intersects with Corona Avenue.
Wow.
So I'm
Wow.
thinking about walking out there and do some rituals
Do
out
some
there.
ritual. I would do a visualization, or when I walk out the house, I would have like a de facto crown, because that's what corona is like the coronavirus. But imagine coronavirus would be like a negative effect of the energy, where everything has a positive and a negative, but the
Yeah,
virus would be the negative side. The positive would be like the corona imagination portal type shit, like the most positive pathway that a person can actually tap into, which is the corona, where that's birth and all types of things. So like tying it into that, imagine that crown on your head. Would you able to tap
yeah.
into like the quartz energy and the energy below the city, like we was talking about?
Uh, Not yet. But I did get Ross Ben's book, so I'm waiting for that to come in.
Hmm.
So I've just been researching, and I'm gonna like I look at my city differently now. Like now I'm a tourist, so I'm gonna actually visit like Central Park. Like even on my computer,
Right.
plug before I log into the screen, it shows these pictures of different locations.
Hmm.
The location it was showing was Central Park. The shit is like right in my face, like shit. So I'm gonna make a trip out
Oh
there
wow.
too, and like
Wow. Yeah.
yeah, all this shit is lining up for me, so I'm
Yeah.
excited. I
Yeah.
can't wait.
Because there's so much
Yeah, man.
energy around us that we can tap into, that we might be down in the dumps in the crib not doing shit, but that's really the problem. And like, man, we talked about that whole New York thing, the gentrification and all of that, is because the energy is, you can't replicate it or reproduce it. Like, can't nobody dig 2 miles under the earth of New York City and transfer it to Oklahoma or some shit, because it ain't the same in Oklahoma and New York City. However, a person that, you know, through birthright, through lineage, through ancestry, happens to live there. Oh, you in prime real estate. Oh, it's time to tap in. You could bring your energy to a small state, take that energy to a small state, and then bring it 2 miles deep into the core of the land that you stand on, and be in a different place from like 99% of the population of the planet because of space, time, and location. If you feel what I'm saying.
That's
but
dope.
Do the research though. Do the research before. Just don't take my word for it. Just Google.
Oh no.
In New York City. Go ahead. Yeah, like do the research then see the geology of the city, right? See the plainest fact geology of the city, and then have that as a, like, you using our IT brain, you know, download the information, you know what I'm saying, upload it into your database, and then once you go outside, you can actually tap into the grids because you got knowledge, facts, information, and imagination. Boom. Ain't nothing can stop you. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's what's up. I'm definitely feeling it. Yeah, that's what's up. So, yeah, I mean, that's all. I just wanted to share. I've been watching, but this is the first time I actually called in. So,
I appreciate you, Kevin. I appreciate it. And
give
me some updates.
Yeah, I'll definitely keep in touch. Definitely.
And
all right, man.
When you get some time, I don't know if I said this during our call, but can you shoot me a review on the email? I don't know if I said that.
Oh, yeah, I'll do that. Definitely.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, cool. Peace.
All right, man. Have a good day, bro.
All right, you too.
Peace. 718, or no, that's, we just got off. 657, you tapped in with the Hood Mystic. 657. 657, going once, going twice, going 3 times. 657. 817, you tapped in with the Hood Mystic.
817 is 187. Shout out to the Hood Mystic.
Murdering the ego. What's going on?
It's the one, the only Loco.
What up, Loco? In the building once again.
What's that word, brother?
Hey, it is what it is, man. That's the word. That's the word.
Like that.
It is what it is, man. Life is what you make it. Nas and DMX got a song. Life is what you make it. Play that Biggie. Throw that Biggie on. I woke up to this morning. I was listening to the instrumentals, but I'm gonna throw on that Ready to Die, and then after that, I'm gonna throw on that Life After Death. I'm gonna put my speakers up to the max, the bass to the max. You know what I'm saying? I'm a motherfucking rep this March 9th energy, Christopher Wallace energy, repping BK to the fullest type of shit. You feel what I'm saying?
I hear you.
That's my word.
Straight up and down. I hear you.
Yo.
That's what I'm saying. Tuned in like synchronized swimmers, man.
Oh man. It ain't no other. It ain't no other way. It ain't no other way. You tell me another way, and I'll do some research on it. But as I see, man, if we ain't synchronized in this whole thing, we ain't gonna get the gold medal for the Olympics.
Straight like that. We got to be on the same team to defeat the enemy.
Oh man.
At war amongst ourselves, we got on the same team colors.
Man, you ain't never seen no synchronized swimmers doing their own thing. It win.
We fighting before we get in the pool.
Oh,
Nah, I want to go first.
Hey, that ain't the goal. We got to figure out how to synchronize this thing, man. That we got to figure out how to be on rhythm, how to be on beat, how to be on pace. It ain't no competition. This synchronized swimming 1-on-1. You know what I'm saying?
You can't help but notice that there are those that are supposed to be, in alongside with you during this race, that they tying your shoes together, or they you know, like it was on that Big Daddy movie when you come flying down the thing on your rollerblades, they throwing sticks down. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to sabotage. Like, come on, man. Are we on the same team? We working for the same goal or what?
I mean, everybody ain't raised the same. Everybody got their own little survival mechanisms. That's why when it comes to conversations like this, when it comes to the ages that we moving into, if you're not incorporating the spiritual into whatever you're doing, whether it's politics, whether it's education, whether it's finance, whether you name it, if you're not incorporating a spiritual component to it, then you have fighting. That's just the way of the world. So when you look at the politics, when you look at everything, it's just, if it ain't spiritual above all things, then you gonna look at some type of beef, you know. And that's even relationships, right? A lot of people have relationships that aren't centered on the core principle of life, and then you look 5, 6, 7, 8 years later, you don't even know who this person is, and you can't stand this person. What is the spiritual solution for the relationship? Oh, there is none. Oh, well, cancel Christmas. You know what I'm saying? We working together, me and you, we got a business, and then we have a falling out. Well, what's the spiritual solution? There is none. Well, cancel Christmas, because, you know, I'm gonna view it my way, you gonna view it your way, and we gonna fight about it, you know? And once we figure out that we got the same goal, then it is only our way. Like, how are we assisting each other to get to this goal of self-realization, generational wealth, so forth and so on, you know? And,
amen. And you don't even know now to say amen at the end of the prayer, or A10. Man, they have so much history. They have so much history going back to what do you want to call this? Ahura Mazda, Lord of Wisdom. Like this whole what do you want to call this that they call it? It is Zoroastrianism.
Yeah. Where they sacrifice the primordial bull as ritual. Where they tie people's energy up in sacred contracts. This is the way of life. 5,000 years ago, we would be looking at this as like right and exact. But now, say for instance, we looking at a particular star. Any star you name is bound by contracts. And when it comes to particular clauses, particular fine print within them contracts, when it's time to take you off or when it's time to eliminate you, then, you know, it's just, that's what it is. With this work, I'm trying to raise the star within us all, the sovereignty within us all, and be like, you don't need no fucking contract to live your best self, because that contract within itself is a form of a religion. Right, it's a form of idolization, Zoroastrianism, Mithraism. All of these things are the precursors or the foundations for Freemasonry, secret societies, Boule, conspiracy theories, things of that nature. And all of these things are tied into people who have signed contracts. No matter, ain't no way you gonna come to me and talk to me about somebody who's important that me and you could have a resonance in that hasn't signed a contract. And I'm not talking about like the Bobby Hemmets and the Phil Valentines. These are the people that we resonate on, but they ain't signed no fucking contracts, right? They don't do no ads for Coke. They don't do no ads for Pepsi. They just giving you the information outside of corporate sponsorship. But when you reference this world that we living in, it ain't nothing. We can't. We're moving into becoming our own star, becoming our own celebrity, you know. So, but yeah, you got me on some shit that I don't even be talking about, bro.
I love that, but I know that you know it. I know that you own it. Like you said, your research and development, investigative efforts are second to none.
Thank you.
You know, for you to be able to put yourself out there like you do, and this is what most people are afraid to do, is expose their vulnerabilities, right? That's the whole thing that starts to trigger us when we're talking psychologically speaking, that a lot of people have these traumatic events or whatever that are surrounded by triggers in their subconscious that when you even mention it or even think it, they feel that you thinking it, they immediately respond defensively and try to chop your head off. So I look at what you were doing and I see the absolute selfless service of presenting information objectively. Now, for it to be absorbed and received by the masses is a whole nother thing entirely. Just like how we fishermen of men, like
right.
It's biblical, man, brother. And then we raising the consciousness from the root chakra up to the skull is what I was, brother. I've been reading some more stuff about how they say that's what Moses' mission was, man. We're supposed to go over there to, Egypt, or as in the story is in the parallel universe, how they talking about it is Moses to Egypt, the Israelites, freeing the Israelites, is as, I can't remember the name now. You're gonna have to walk with me on this, but who went to is Babylon? The story where Babylon, where they also needed to free people from somewhere and elevate the consciousness. It's the same story as Moses with Egypt to Israel.
The Tower of Babel.
Is that what that is? I know that there's a story with Babylon. That's why I'm trying to get situated and straight, because Babylon and Macedonia, these stories I'm just getting familiarized with that have some resonance with me. That's why I want to really just call and tell you that, man, the esoteric part of this learning that I'm actually able to make the differentiation between the scientific philosophy and the philosophical approach.
So when you reference Sumerian and you reference Babylonia, you always want to reference like the core principles to everything we know as far as Judeo-Christian thought, right? So that's really how we take it to the root of storytelling. So of course there is a resonance with Moses and Babylon or Sumeria. I'll take it one better. You name me anything in the Bible and I'll pull it back to Sumerian Babylonia. And the reason why there's a disconnect between Sumeria and Babylonia, because the Sumerians and Babylonians were astrologers. They dealt with the astronomy. And so if you say that the whole religion is based upon Sumeria and Babylonia, then basically the whole religion is based upon astrology. So when it's so easy for me to turn into, you just reference like the amen portion of the thing or that whatever, that Christianity and all of that is it's not far off from what we actually doing, but we beyond, idealizing some false identity known as Jesus Christ and worshiping that. We're just kind of saying, okay, we understand the elements that you stole from to create this mythology, but however, Jesus Christ is just another word for Mithras, and Mithras is just another word for, the KKK. It's like a whole lineage of pillage and capturing and invasion. And because if we were able to look at our history and be like, oh, we came from murderers, then we wouldn't be able to live with ourselves. However, when you look at the world and you look at its depression and suicide and negative vibrations, it's because we are what our ancestors have done. And if we aren't able to express what our ancestors have set before us, then that's going to cause some form of depression. However, when it comes to me and you, we able to express our ancestors in a more loving, productive, spiritual way by dealing with the roots and then, tearing those roots down and getting to kind of the truth, because, all of this shit is made up and taken from somewhere, that's taken from somewhere, that's taken from somewhere. And when you get to the actual root, they made up all of this shit.
That is the part that is explaining to the children before we even get into the same, what history repeating itself, how that can go. As you're trying to facilitate the so-called knowledge or wisdom from your, predecessors down the lineage or down the generational, the line to the new generation. You're trying to pass this information. You now yourself have to go deep within meditation to see and make sure that you're teaching this is my opinion. You know, I'm just not the one to just, you know, repeat what do you want to call it? Repeat the echo the lies and the you know the whatever you want to call this, the common knowledge that is artificial wisdom that everybody is just, you know, bouncing off of each other, and nobody really knows what's fact. Like they say, fact is stranger. Man, you got a lot of knowledge out here if you go out here and know how to look for it and can really focus on ascertaining the knowledge that is relevant.
And that ties into the meditation, relative truth, which is the normal relative truth that me and you have of living in the world. But then it's an absolute truth that goes beyond what is relative. The absolute truth can be found in meditation and transcendentalism, you know, becoming, you know, above and beyond what you actually think you are. And so, you know, that's where we're at, you know. There is a relative truth out there, but there's also an absolute truth. And as this absolute truth comes to surface, you know, I just want to help people tap into that. You are above the deities and the religions and the spiritual practices that you've learned but didn't create, so forth and so on. You above that. And the only way you express being above that is through your creative expression. And your creative expression might be some wild shit. It might not be some shit that I would do, nor should it be. Because the things that I'm gonna do shouldn't be the things that you should want to do. We should be in our own creative, magical space, living in our own intention, creating our own universal resonance, you know, and we have that ability and power. When you think of all the religions and all the spiritual systems in the world, they was invented or created by somebody just like you. So when you get up under that shit, you look like a goddamn buffoon. It's like Richie Rich, you know, trying to be a crack baby. It don't read.
Straight up.
It don't resonate. So I'm in the creative space.
That creative space is where the magic happened in the mud, brother.
1000%.
You know, I'm looking at the square of elements. I'm looking at who is this pharaoh that was the first one to become monotheistic?
Akhenaten.
Come on, brother, you hear me knocking? You hear me knocking? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking to my uncles who I consider the ascended masters, and then they're giving me knowledge, you know, trying to kind of string me along with the light to let me know to go toward the Kabbalah. Like, I'm gaining the knowledge and I'm learning a lot to see that the observation, like we say, an objective perspective to, just like you say, to know the absolute truth. You can take what you want from it, but have the actual, just as everyone else has had in the past, to have that absolute truth, and then they take it back to their countries and put their twist on it. Now you got such and such religion. Now you got such and such religion, and they trying to build their, you know, their, what do you want to call it? Their socio-economic structure based off of these so-called assumptions.
And let me tell you the trick to the Kabbalah. Let me tell you the trick real quick. So
yes, sir.
The things that you reference, and they create in whole socio-economic platforms, they create in whole communities, they help creating all types of shit by using the Kabbalah and utilizing the clip off. Okay, you just bear witness to that. Okay, so the thing of it that I'm saying is that you can do the same thing, and you might come to me like, all right, we in business. How do I manifest what you referencing? The Kabbalah, it always gonna start off with Kether, Gavora, Tifereth, Malkuth. And nigga, I don't know what that shit mean. I don't know what it 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 mean. Okay, so therefore, once you jump into the Kabbalah, you looking at words that you just don't know what the hell they mean. And so the more that we study and we say shit like Gavora and Kether and Tifereth, we just saying same shit. Okay, until we take Kether and translate it. First, you got to get a notebook. You got 3 columns. You got the Jewish word or the Kabbalistic word. You got the definition, and then you got your word. And create a running glossary as you read Whenever you see a word, don't just skip over it. You'll fuck yourself up.
Right.
Because the thing of it is that that's a whole nother language. So when you reference them creating socioeconomics and so forth and so on, it's because they understand the transliteration of the actual literature. And us, because we know everything, we just read over it and imagine that we know the shit that we reading when we don't. However, we have the ability to decode and to understand it, and we truly decode it once Kether is potential. I don't see Kether no more. I see potential. Tifereth is the heart. I don't see Tifereth no more. I see the heart. Okay? Yesod,
yes,
I don't
sir.
see Yesod any longer. I see the sexual realm or manifestation or, copulation, like having sex, right? Sex ain't the child, but it leads to the child, and the child is Malkuth. Now the Kalipoth is Malkuth's life. It's dark and don't nobody want to deal with it. So now you got to start dealing with the demons. The demons, the demons. You done been to goddamn middle school.
Yes, sir.
I was at the library. I mean, not the library, the barber shop, and I seen two little kids. And I was with my son. We was getting our hair cut, and I was like, "Look at these goddamn demon kids."
Demon semen, like Kodak say.
Hey.
Demon semen, just scheming.
Hey. So we synchronize.
Straight like that, and just like what you said, I fear not, but I stay in my lane. Just like we say, you got like what you said about the X videos, brother.
Uh-huh.
You be on you be hitting so hard on the subject that, like you say, the average ain't gonna be able to. They'll put the change the station, if you will. Oh no, what is he talking about?
Right, and that's the goal.
I'm tuned in to like what you're talking about, brother. I hear exactly what you're saying. That's just an analogy, but you can take that literal. You can take, like you said, we're taking Kether, we're taking the potential and manifest it. That's what we're looking at. It starts from that potential that comes from nothing, and we're bringing it down into the realm of forming and then actually materializing into manifestation. Right. I'm into the process. I understand the flow of the chart, and I understand the circles and the realms, just as you gave me definition. Like, brother, this is what we got to do. This is all they were doing in the past. You come together, and y'all are now Einstein and who was Einstein arguing the theory of relativity and quantum with?
Tesla.
Was it which one?
Tesla.
Okay, so they arguing at the table, sitting at or having the dialogue about, which theory is more relevant? Is it the theory of relativity? Is gravity? Is gravity actually relevant in outer space? And all of these conversations that they're having at the table and actually dissecting, ideologies, comparing and contrasting, and having experimentation to see who is actually. We're not doing any of this anymore. Like you said, we're taking what has already been done. Everybody kind of taking their objective perspectives to say what they feel or what resonates with them to decide whichever path that they follow. But just as you and I are talking, I mean, we can break, like you said, brother, we break down those walls, we go back to the root, find that common denominator, and now we rise out of this meditative state with absolute truth, man.
Absolute truth, right. And I'll do you one better. We reference the tree of life can be really confusing if you tap into the Nasak and the other shit on the side. But when I do my Kabbalah work, it's Kether, Tifereth, Yesod, Malkuth. I go straight down the fucking middle. I don't gotta go left. I don't gotta go right. I don't gotta have victory. I don't gotta have mercy. I don't gotta have challenges. I don't gotta, weigh my goals. If I have an idea and my heart is in it, I start working on that shit. And then I work on it till it manifests. And then once it manifests, I continue working that shit down through the Kalipoth, through the darkness. Okay, niggas want to hate. Niggas want to hold you back. Niggas want to stop you. Niggas don't want you to see yourself. But hey, I already manifested it, so it's too late. I already know the game.
Yeah.
It's too late. I'm not going left. I'm not going right. I'm not dealing with none of the shit that people think that you need to deal with. I'm starting at Kether, potential, taking it to my heart, taking it to your side, taking it to manifestation. And you can look at the goddamn Kabbalistic tree of life and see exactly what I'm saying. Now, you could take lefts and rights if you want. That's your choice.
Right, taking the long route. What they call that, the scenic route.
The scenic route if you want. If that's what you want to do, go ahead. That's what you want to do.
Man,
Me
brother.
personally, I'm going straight down the middle. The
Like
quickest
that, the shortest
point.
distance.
Say
Straight
it.
shooters. That's how
Say
we
it.
get it. That's how
Say
you
it.
get it. And a lot of people can't handle straight shooters. I see that now. You have friends turn to enemies. You got frenemies out here now. They claim that they this with the conscious mind. They say that they this with your conscious mind, but we're able to discern through the smiles, you know, the handshakes, and see through your eyes your true intentions. Now this is where you get into, okay, you and I, what benefit will it have if I, you know, try to destroy your vision? You know, I don't like what you're saying. You must be destroyed. When does it turn and transition to I don't like what you're saying? You must be destroyed. How do people get from hate?
I'm gonna tell you how. Because the person who's going into the dream world or going into the manifestation, they have that realization already within them, and they're magnetizing that. However, when I approach my thing, I don't imagine that to be so. Even more so, I'm sure you listen to this channel on the live, and you can hear the interactions that I have with people. That's generally part of the course, you know. And I don't accept in my imagination a person getting on this live like, "Hood Mystic, fuck you. I don't agree with you." And you don't even get past the guard walls. You know, that energy is not even tolerated in my mind, in my heart. You understand what I'm saying?
That's right.
And that's another way of dealing with the Kabbalistic space of primordial potential, heart, manifestation, realization. Nothing that I said is dealing with a nigga's opinion.
That's right. That's
you
right.
know. Good or bad, though. You know what I'm saying? You got to neutralize both energies, because on the left and right, there's positives, but there's also negatives and, you know, variables and things of that nature. When you take it straight down the middle, you got to just know what the fuck you want and play the game that way. You know what I'm saying? And if you want people to hold you back, you will get as successful as you want to and manifest that. When I look at the R. Kellys and the Bill Cosbys and all of the negative energies that are resisting the world, I don't feel sorry for nobody, because I understand that you're a grown ass person, a magical entity, a literal God walking in the flesh. You created these situations for yourself one way or the other. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to me, I can look at these as signals of, okay, I got to make sure my intentions is strong, to the point where if I'm
undeviated,
if I'm imagining haters, I'm gonna attract haters. I only imagine lovers. You know, I only imagine appreciators.
That's right.
And that's what I manifest. That's just me. You know what I'm saying?
There's two things about it, three things for sure that I got from just listening to you, brother. It's like bowling. You got the gutters on either side. We got to go straight up and down with it and bowl that perfect 300.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of folks ain't gonna like that you bowling at 300 and you come out with that jacket, you know, and the trophy, and you putting all your equipment back because you have perfected your craft.
Right.
People just ain't gonna like that looking from a distance.
No.
But then again, here's some. Go ahead, brother.
I'm listening to you. I'm agreeing with you.
I was just, man, I'm just leading up to you, in my opinion, as the we ain't gonna go to race. I'm just gonna say as the reflection that light bounces off of your, what do you want to call that, off of your epidermis, the color that is on the stage, you know, this right here is becoming a rare commodity, brother. To be able to have the wisdom and knowledge that you have, and not only have it, share it. Right. This is the thing that I'm talking about. The sharing of knowledge and information is quintessential for our growth and development. Now here's the next part that I say. Look around at the recent history and look at what's happening to all of our leaders of the same epidermal color. You know, it's a sad battlefront that you're seeing the casualties left and right, and it's like, man, do you even want to pick up your rifle?
See,
do you even want to pick up? What do we fight? You know, who's the enemy that keep taking off our generals?
I got an answer to that, man. I got an answer, and it just ties into our deeper conversation that we having. Our previous leaders, they've attracted the energy that they really manifested.
Damn.
So we don't have to feel necessarily sorry for them, but they are such advanced and enlightened beings that our ancestors showed us everything of what not to do. They showed us what to do and also what not to do. So we would only be wise to absorb the energy in an analytical form and then absorb what they did right and wrong and then utilize it. You know, I'm not projecting fear.
Damn.
I'm not projecting negativity. I'm Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. You feel me?
That's right. Yes, sir.
I don't have to choose between one or the other. I can look at both of them and see where they went right, and I can see the both of them where they went wrong. And I can take all of the good from both of them and incorporate it into my mission, incorporate it into my being, incorporate it into my meditation. You know what I'm saying? They got all types of speeches that are perfect, eloquent speeches that can advance us and, you know, raise us up as people. You know what I'm saying? But if we trying to nitpick and see the negativity in particular ancestors, then that's what we'll find. And then we'll also recreate that, you know, so it's about recreating a different future and a different path, not only for us, but also for our children. So when you reference that I'm a rare commodity, I only see this as a short-term thing. I'm going to be, you know, one of many, you know, and many people going to do it much better than I do it. However, I can set the precedence and I can show people, okay,
that's the hardest path is the one that you making, brother. The hardest path.
Right, but it's the one that comes straight from the heart. It's the one that I do with no hope for return. I only do it because it's in my heart to do. You know, to start my day with building with the family and, you know, collecting my thoughts, collecting everything, and then moving forward with that energy. So, you know, I appreciate the build, Loco. You know, it's always something
you got my vote of confidence, brother. And even if you don't see me on the comments or hear me verbally, just know that I'm with you in the spirit, because, you know, we got all three representations of ourselves. So I'm with you, brother. I'm listening in loud and clear. You keep doing your thing. I ain't gonna hold you. I come and of course I didn't start it off with it, but we're gonna end most importantly with it is peace and blessings unto you, brother. That's all I wish, in prosperity and abundance. That's all we need from you. Keep it pushing, brother. Keep going.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate your call and call in again, bro. I love this build.
1,000. I already. I'll holler at you later on now.
1,000, man. You too. Peace.
Later.
754, is you there? 754. 754 is a weird one. I don't know. 754, if you there, hang up and call back. 951, you tapped in with the Hood Mystic. Who might I be speaking with?
Mar.
From,
Corona, California. Amar.
Lamar from Corona, Cali. What's going on? You at the epicenter of it all. What's the 411? what's the breakdown?
Yeah, that's actually been super interesting to me, because like I think like 2 callers ago, he was saying that he lived next to a city called Corona.
Right.
I don't know if that's me, but
yeah,
because he was from Cali too.
Yeah.
But I mean, to be honest, for me, I don't really pay it, other than like what you and Dream Wise be putting out. I don't be paying much attention to the news about that.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's crazy.
But,
it get crazier and crazier every day.
Yeah. Like my dad always stuff like every morning about it. Like about like he'd be like updating me about like what's happening on the news and stuff. But yeah,
Yeah.
I just wanted to like call in one just to like, I mean, I'd be listening to you like almost every morning and like every day,
Hmm.
and like
Thank
we
you.
had like a reading like I think in like October
Yeah.
of 2019,
Yeah.
and like ever since then I really just been like putting in the work because like from the reading, like I mean, like I took that shit, like all the info that like your workbook,
Hmm.
I look at it like literally daily,
Sure.
like for real. Like I have it downloaded on my phone and like
Hmm.
um yeah, and I guess like also it's that like what you've been saying about like and what everyone's been like calling about. It's just like we are the like creators of our life and just taking ownership of that.
Right.
And like that's really what I've been getting like downloads and insights like this whole week
Hmm.
is like just that.
Hmm.
Like this full moon, it's like perfect timing and alignment
Hmm.
for owning that, like claiming it as yours.
Right.
I don't know if Dreamwise put out a Patreon vid about At Your Command, Dreamwise and D-Ray.
Hmm.
It's At Your Command by Neville Goddard,
Hmm.
and that book is fucking amazing. Like it's just phenomenal about like claiming what's yours
Okay.
and then not being like second guessing and doubting it. Like what you've been talking about, just like straight from Kether. But yeah,
So
I just want to call in and just like say thank you
no problem,
for like
Amar.
everything you're doing and like paving the road, because I'm gonna be like I'm learning a lot right now to be putting out videos like you do basically.
Hmm.
So I just want to say thank you for that.
No problem. I got a couple questions for you. How's school going and how's your girl?
Oh, school is chill. I mean, I took ownership of that. Before I was really like focusing on like all the quote unquote like spirituality, and I was like putting aside the school, and I wasn't recognizing that like the like it's all one type of thing in it. And now I recognize that. And then things with my girl, I now see everything as a reflection of me. So it's like now, like when I like voices of doubt coming back, I always like have these like principles I go back to, and one of them is that like everything I see externally is just like a manifestation and a reflection of something that's going on inside.
Right.
So it's like knowing that that like grounds me so much.
So you killing it in school, I take it.
Oh, well, that's why I didn't hear you.
I said, so you killing it in school, I take it.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I think like for school it was never really a problem like academics. It was more of a like believing in myself.
Right. Okay. Okay.
And like putting the effort in. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I'm, you still in neuroscience?
That shit keeps on taking off.
Are you still doing the neuroscience?
Yeah, I'm still a neuroscience major.
All right. Yeah, I'm sending you all positive vibrations, and I know that's not an easy thing, even though you a hella smart person and all of that. I still send you hella ashe, because we need more neuroscientists in the world. You know what I'm saying? Bringing this work to light, and I want you to, realize that goal. So, Amar, whenever you need anything and need some support, or you down, or whatever the case may be, reach out to me, because I want you to succeed in this. I know that once you exceed, you're going to be a leader, moving into your 30s, into your 40s. You're going to really change the world. And it's just a powerful thing, bro. I'm just excited for you, and I'm happy for you, bro.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, just hearing that gives me like it's like invigorating, because before I would have been like, I guess, shying away from it, but now it's kind of like I'm kind of like stepping into my power and my knowing of like who and what I really am.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean, I just appreciate you, bro. Like everything you're doing, it's like really valuable. So
Yeah, man. I'm hella impressed by you, man. So you know, I ain't no goddamn neuroscientist now. I'm a good person. I tried my best in life, but I'll never reach the neuroscientist level. So, you know, I'm
no,
hella
I
impressed by
honestly
you,
don't
bro.
like for me. I honestly don't think it's like for neuroscience. I feel like they just be making big words to confuse people. Honestly, like for real. Because like when it comes down to it, it's not that complicated. They just like use big words.
You just the
That
genius,
no one
man.
knows
You
what
just
they
the
mean.
genius, Amar. You just the genius. So you just the genius, brother. You just the genius. I ain't even going to take it there. You a genius. Accept the fact that you a genius, you know, and take it to that next level, you know, raise up those vibrations to the highest of heights and accept the fact that you're a genius, you know, accept that fact, you know, acknowledge that, you know, and because you're a genius, you're going to open up certain doors for yourself and for other people. Every day, make that shit easy, you know, impress, you know, show out, you know what I'm saying? Don't hold yourself back. Be great, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. For sure. That's what I'm gonna be doing. Like really, that's what I've been getting like called to do. Because a lot of the old patterns that I was getting myself into was just the opposite of that. Like I would basically I know I could excel, but I wouldn't excel because of the attention that I would get.
Right.
Basically.
Exactly. And that's what we we deaden that. You feel me? We deaden that aspect of you. We getting rid of that
Yeah.
aspect of you.
Yeah, that's
And you going to step into, you know, all of the greatness, all that's been designed for you. If not for yourself, the many people that's coming after you that's going to need it. So, you know your heart and take your heart and your brain and do amazing shit, bro. Like set the world on fire.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that, bro. Thank you.
No problem, Amar. You know where to reach me. But thank you,
So
though.
yeah, I'm gonna hit you up.
All right, I
Yeah.
appreciate you.
All right, bro.
Have a good day.
Appreciate you too.
Yep.
Peace.
657, are you there? 657. Going once. Going twice. 217, are you there? 217. Okay. 754, are you there?
Yeah, what's up, man?
What's going on? Last but not least, what's
Hey.
cracking?
Not much, man. I appreciate you having this show.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you a question.
Sure.
They say so. Basically, what I've been getting from you is that these people, like the Malcolm X's, they created a lot of good, but they also had something in their minds, I guess, that manifested in them getting murdered. Is that right?
Repeat that question one more time because it was like my kids was in the background. I want to hear that question.
Okay, so I'm trying to find out. Basically, are you saying that the people like the Malcolm X's or they had they was doing a lot of positive, but there was something in their mind that manifested them getting killed, right?
Based upon quantum physics and we are what we attract, and if you follow that school of thought, then yes.
So basically, every little because problems come up in our lives, right?
Yeah.
So those are like things that we're manifesting, even though it's unconscious, right? So how do we clear that? Because the more power you get, the easier it is for you to attract some faster. So if you don't have your mindset cleared out, you're gonna be attracting a lot of positive and a lot of negative at the same time. So how do you clear that from your before you power yourself up? You know what I mean? How do you do that?
Sure. So say for instance you're a melanated man. You see so many examples of people rising and fall, even in your family. You look at your uncles and shit. Like yeah, your uncle used to be this great person and now he do heroin and now he homeless, and you know, these types of things we see over and over and over. We see the decimation of the people that we look up to, whether celebrities or people that's close to us. So because of this, we developed this subconscious track in our lives that we don't know we're on. And because we don't know we're on it, it just bestows upon us at a particular age, at a particular time. It's in our 20s for some men, 30s for some men, 40s, 50s, so on, so on and so forth. I like to call men a ticking time bomb. And the reason why I call men a ticking time bomb is because they don't realize the soul aspect of life. They don't understand the feminine energy. They actually believe that the things that they work hard for, the things that they manifest, will bring them spiritual satisfaction. So when it comes to people like Malcolm X or Martin Luther King, they actually believe, so even more so, they have what is called a spiritual ego. They actually think that they can save black people from white people, but the narrative is incorrect, because black people have to save themselves from themselves. White people need to save themselves from themselves. Chinese people need to save themselves from themselves. So when you perpetrate or perpetuate the war or the narrative that there are black people over here and there are white people over here, and somehow, some way that these white people are better and these black people are worse off, in any form or fashion, you're not speaking the right and exact to the masses. So that's presenting a negative space for you. So until our speakers and the people that talk to people in the right exact nature of psychology, of becoming your own worst enemy and then metamorphosizing that into becoming your own best friend, everything else is fucking poppycock. Everything else is fucking, you know, slander to the divine within. They call it distraction. They call it lust. They call it fornication. They call it sin. They call it, you know, degradation, perversity, because you don't pay attention to the soul. You don't pay attention to your psychology. So because of this, it's like playing we all have a game that we can choose. And a lot of people choose to play the murder game, even though they don't want to get murdered. So that's kind of how I view it.
No, that's on point. What I'm trying to say is, like, what I'm trying to ask is, how does somebody prevent that though? How do they get that? Because for me.
You there? Hello? 754? 754. 7-5.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, sorry about that. I got turbulent. But so basically what I'm trying to find out, how do you clear that how do you get rid of that?
You don't necessarily get rid of it, because it's more or less of changing and altering more than trying to get rid of something. It's like playing a video game and trying to remove an aspect of it. You can't remove an aspect of Grand Theft Auto because you don't like that part of the game. The reality is, don't play the game that you don't want to live. Or so it's like, as black men, to say all of the things that I was saying, as black men, we play a particular game that we don't know that we're playing. So I'm playing the spiritual game. I'm going the spiritual route. I'm developing my soul and getting acquainted through my soul, through meditation, through visualization, through realization. And this is hard work, because I'm not at the point of nirvana. I haven't reached a point where I know everything there is to know about the whole existence of nothing. And I'll never get to that point, but I'm on the journey to bliss. I'm on the journey to nirvana. And that's all we could really hope for. To prevent it is to say, you know, how to get rid of something that's already a part of that matrix. And when we absorb energies and we absorb information, we're absorbing matrices that, if we don't want to live that life, then we just have to absorb a particular matrix that's resonating with us in a strong, definitive way. If you want to be like Martin Luther King, you probably going to live his lifestyle and live his trajectory. However, you don't have to be like Martin Luther King. You can be something completely different and create a lifestyle completely unknown, creatively personal to you.
So basically, what I get that you're saying. By the way, that was a great answer. So basically, what I get you're saying is like, no one could save someone but themselves. So instead of trying to save people and saying, "Oh, I'm gonna try to save the black race," which was their motivation, obviously.
Right.
Maybe it was like, "Hey, I'm gonna teach them how to save themselves."
No, better yet, Martin Luther King and Malcolm X could have saved themselves a lot of times. And if you look at the documentary, the recent one of Malcolm X, he really was saying like, you know, I shouldn't be here and I'm afraid to die and people are trying to kill me. And so when you elect to be a leader, then who's going to lead you? Who's going to help you? Who's going to aid you? So a lot of times people might feel like they leaders, but they need to actually lead themselves and retract from the attention. Sometimes people get addicted to the attention and being built up and held up in a proper esteem, but the goal of it is to actually save yourself, not even teaching people how to save themselves, because you can't necessarily do that until you actually do that or are trying to do that. So, you know, we got to get.
Yeah, I feel like, and it's less stress too. I feel like when you stop trying to help people, and you're like, I'm gonna help the universe through helping myself. I'm gonna help the world by investing in myself. Like most people feel like they need to invest in others first. Like I know I did, but it's like, yo, why are you trying to save people? You're not saved. How about you save yourself? Focus on you. And through you, everything else will take precedence. I feel like it's like a syndrome almost, like a save the world syndrome.
It's a Messiah complex. You know, you can Google that.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know, and if you don't check that part of your life.
Church teaches that, man.
Yeah, it teaches that. The media enforces it. You know, our movies inundate us with it, and we find some personal pleasure in saving the world. I haven't saved not one person in my work. I have not saved not one person, nor do I hope to save not one person. You know, I have an intention that the world realizes that they have a soul and they elevate their soul above all things. And, you know, it's a small little goal, you know, and I just kind of work to it and try to find creative ways to bring that to the surface. But other than that, you know, I can't save the world. I don't know shit about how to fix my brakes right now. My car got brake problems I need to figure out. I don't have the goddamn slightest how to fix that shit. So, you know, it's more about acknowledging what you do and then acknowledging what you don't and learning how to outsource where you need help at, and then utilizing your strengths and being available of help to people who might need you. And that's where we're moving into, you know, as opposed to just, you know, trying to save one another. Let's help one another first. Right. Can you help me without wanting something back in return? You know, can I help you with wanting something out in return? Let's just start there, you know, take baby steps to, you know, saving a whole entire race.
Yeah. That's crazy. All right. Well, I appreciate the answers, man.
No problem, man.
That really kind of helped me.
Yeah, just work on yourself, build yourself up, invest in yourself, until you get to a point where you can give without ever wanting it in return. You know, if you got knowledge like you did, you can call in and, you know, share the information through these questions. That's a form of like giving, you know. Because, you know, this conversation brought up a realization between the both of us that can allow us to move forward, and the people listening, they move forward. So that's a philanthropic contribution to the world that you just made. So, you know, give thanks for that, and then continue to build in yourself. You know, you did your good deed for the day. You know, don't, you know, love yourself, pour into yourself, invest in yourself. Because that's the best thing in the world. There's nothing better than that. Nothing better than
100.
loving yourself and investing in yourself and seeing your dreams come to light.
Yeah, and let me add one more thing that
Mhm.
I think the realization is that not to because my first question was like, how do you get it out of
Right.
your mind to like these problems that continually pop up in your reality?
Right.
How do you get it in your mind not to bring those problems anymore?
Mhm.
So yeah, like is that like that's like a process, and because I feel like the way I do it is by saying, okay, this problem has a benefit in it.
So my thing is this. If say for instance, like I tell you right now, hey, throw out your goldfish. Get rid of your goldfish right now. And you would tell me naturally, Hood Mystic, I don't got a goldfish to get rid of. But I keep telling you throughout the conversation, bro, you need to get rid of your goldfish. And you know for a fact that you don't need a goldfish. So reverse that, and that's our conversation that we having. You telling me that you want to get rid of something that's not even present. You don't even have it in your house. You don't have it in your essence. You don't have it in your being. So I can't give you advice on how to get rid of something you don't have. Nobody is
Problems,
going
so
to
they're not
take you
problems.
down. You don't have problems. You don't have issues. You
So
don't
what
have
are these
stress.
things that come? The things that come up, like for
You're
example,
playing Grand Theft Auto. You're playing Grand Theft Auto. And in Grand Theft Auto, there's prostitution, there's stress, there's murder. You be running from the cops. You know what I'm saying? You playing that game.
Mhm.
You got to choose a different game to play. You got to choose a different world to live in. A world that exists. It's a world where that says, like, I lived in neighborhoods where a person would say, you better not go to that store because the Crips run that store, and the Crips, they G check you, like they want to know where you from. And I was like, okay, well, I'm about to go get me a goddamn bag of chips, so I don't give a fuck about no damn Crips and they G checking or whatever the case may be, because my heart ain't in that place. My intention is not in that space. And when I see another black man, I greet him with love, and then the black man greet me back with love. That's how it's always been. I've never had beef or problems with another black man in my consciousness or divinity, because that's the world that I live in. Peace, bro. How you doing today? Oh, I'm good, man. Just out here chilling. Good, man. You know, keep it moving. I get my goddamn bag of Grippos, get my goddamn juice, and go about my damn day, you know? People looking at me like, oh shit, you went to the store, like you crazy. You crazy. Cause I'm not afraid of another black man. I don't care how much they've been demonized and how much you supposed to be afraid of them, how much they are of a danger to themselves. But in my world, we love each other. That's the game that I play.
How'd you create that world versus
I said
the one?
it.
Because some people
I
they're
said
brought
it.
up.
I said it. I said it. I said it. I said it. It wasn't nothing else. I didn't want to live in a world where I was afraid of another black man, because I'd be living in a world where I'm afraid of myself. So I put in the world, I didn't have a girl that was going to cheat on me in my world. I had a girl that was going to love and nurture me, that I was going to make love to every day. And we was going to have babies, and she was going to be pretty, and she was going to have a nice fat old booty. And I was just going to love her down as much as I fucking could. And she was going to love me in that same way. That was the game that I chose to play. I used to play the game where the girl was going to cheat on me, and she was going to bring drama, and she was just going to be unreasonable. I used to play that game too. But when I had time to myself and when I was single, I said, okay, the next girl that I get, hell no. It's going to be what I want, and it's going to be in this frequency, or I ain't fucking with it. You know.
Now I get it. I get it. Appreciate that, fam. Appreciate that.
No problem.
That's 100.
No problem. It's like I said, it's not a destination either. Cause sometimes these niggas be scary, and I'll be like, oh, it's like
Yeah.
Sometimes it ain't perfect. Sometimes I want to, go crazy, but for the most part, remember that I'm creating a world that I'm living in, and I got to go back to the drawing board sometimes, and that's going deeper into
Go
my
back to the
meditation.
drawing board.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Drawing up, you figuring out, okay, this is what I want.
Yeah.
This is what I want in my life. Boom.
This is the world
And
that
then
I
you
live
focus
in.
on that.
And I don't even
Yep.
want, I just declare and I embody and I express. And when I express and embody that which I want and desire, I no longer want and desire it. I'm in that vibration. And if I can't express or embody what I want and desire, then that's an indication that I truly don't want it. Or when I get it, I won't really like it. So the expressions and embodiments that I can be in this moment are my desires.
Even if your dream is like, or your desire is not right, it like right now it's not a reality, but it's like bigger. You want to create like Disney or something, or Apple. When they first started, they couldn't imagine where they would.
But do you got the spare parts? Do you got the computer? Do you got the computer set up? Do you got the network set up? Do you got the Ethernet? Do you got all your Ethernet cores? Do you got your router? Do you got your switch? Do you got your big screen TV that's going to show you all of the repairs that's coming in versus all the repairs that's fixed? Do you got your Quicken Loan set up? Do you got your business platform set up? Because you're going to have partners. What's going to be the partner splits? Have you set that up? What's your initial offering when you want to invite people into your corporation and things of that nature? Do you got all of that shit set up? I'm just giving an example. So we could always express and embody our dreams. And if you go to goddamn Micro Center and get a goddamn Ethernet cord, well, you are on your way to becoming the next Apple. And then tomorrow you get a router. The next day you get a switch. The next day you get your second tower. The next day you get your third monitor. And then you building up a little system over time. And you can, and your goal is to be a goddamn the next Apple or whatever the case may be. But every day and every moment you in expressing and embodying that desire, and in that moment you don't want to be that. You are already that because you took your ass up to Micro Center and you didn't even have no money for no damn Ethernet cords, but you went with a notebook and said, okay, I'm going to need this router. I'm going to need this switch. I'm going to need this fucking cord. I'm going to need this plug. Okay. And because you don't got no money, you don't know how you going to realize it, but at least you in the vicinity of creating that company and you embodying it. Don't tell me you want a car and you ain't test drove the shit. You don't really want it.
Right.
You don't even want to imagine yourself actually being in the car. Anybody can go test drive some shit. You got a license. So, cut the games of, not you personally, but people who say, I'm away. I want to achieve something, but it's too far. Well, then your ass better get to work. Not now, but right now. Not today, but yesterday.
Right.
It's something you can do towards your goal to where you don't desire it or wish it. It's something that you can do to embody and express your goal and desire right now. My goal is to be a radio host in LA. I'm not that, but every day I wake up and I show myself every day that I can do that shit. You understand? I get better at that shit. And I know that that's a reality for me, even though it's no indication that I'm going to be a radio host in LA. There's no indication to that. I'm nowhere near that, except in my expression and embodiment. Because hopefully through that expression and embodiment, the clues will become clear to me, of what to do next.
Yeah. Makes sense. That's perfect. Just take the next step.
Just take the next logical step of your desires and your wishes, so they're no longer wishes or desires. They're now action plans, and they're now expressions and embodiments to that. And you give yourself time to get there through your actions. You pat yourself on the back every time you do something towards your goals and your desires, because you take it out that realm of wish and desire, you're putting it in the realm of reality.
Yeah.
And just every day, it don't matter what it is, you just make that a habit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate it, man.
No problem, man. Call in anytime.
All right, will do.
Peace.
Take it easy. Peace.
You too. Have a great day. 561, you tapped in with the Mystic.
Hey, good morning, Peace. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm very good.
This Rebecca?
I have a... Yes, it is. I wanted to ask you about enacting the wealth principle.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed your show, the Full Moon Show.
Thank you.
And I wasn't really feeling it. And it's been a couple days when I wasn't really feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
Last week
mm-hmm.
was March 4th, when you were doing a show on the Ardra Nakshatra,
mm-hmm.
and how Ardra is a killer and a creator. So
mm-hmm.
eliminating what needs to go in order to make room to create. And that day I was really, I was able to enact that because I noticed that there was something, I became aware of something, an action that I could do to eliminate a lot of what was, I'll say, eating a lot of my time
mm-hmm.
and eating a lot of emotional energy and just really draining my resources.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing back, just draining me. So that one, I went after it, and I did. I killed it. And
right.
So I understand with that. So this is my question today.
Mm-hmm.
I've been going through the weekend, and it was like I wasn't really feeling it again. And then yesterday, it's like the feeling that I would have would be empty. And I was thinking empty, but not in the bad way.
Mm-hmm.
Empty in the way like I had emptied my cup.
Right.
That's how I came to understand it.
Mm-hmm.
And so last night, this energy really activated for me.
Mm-hmm.
So today, I'm wondering, how do I work with this nakshatra? How do I work
mm-hmm.
with this energy to enact the wealth principle?
Sure. And so, like you said, the cup is empty, but
mm-hmm.
the cup is still a cup. So that cup would then reference the energy of the Purva Falguni Nakshatra. And one of the symbolisms of that is sexual organs. For male, it's the spermatoza, and for women, it is the egg. So the egg is the cup. So in embodying the cup, you are actually tapping into your primordial state of being, primordial and pure state of being, now that the cup is empty. So you have to now visualize and be mindful of your cup. Whatever pours into your cup has to be examined and analyzed, because you realize now that your cup is what people need to have sustenance. Are you following me?
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so to tap into the wealth principle is pure in its primordial. What it is not is conscious, well thought out, well planned, structured, analyzed, dissected, tore apart, researched, glossarized, so forth and so on, etc. and so forth. So what it is meditating on the primal purity of the divine feminine and wants and needs that come from this meditation, because our wants and needs are tricky when we don't meditate first. If we go straight into our wants and needs soon as we wake up from the ego, then we'll be kind of confused, because now it's like, okay, Another pint of ice cream? Really? We're doing this? Yeah, we're doing this. Okay. I want it. Hood Mystic said, follow your wants and needs first. So, cookie dough it is. But like, no, like starting from a divine premise in meditation, magnetizing that before you wake up, before you go through your day. And then from that perspective, you are able to then follow your needs and wants because you know they come from a divine space. So the trouble in explaining what to do is the fact of you want to know, you want to understand, you want to grasp, you want to have it, you know, in your hand, right? But you are already the cup. You already you are already knowing. So the idea is now to be in the present, but be in the present from a space of meditation. And if you find yourself egoic or, you know, trapped in like confusion or wanting to read or wanting to study, then you know you're out of bliss, at least for the day. We're just kind of taking it one day at a time. And today, chill, relax, come to a sense of awareness of divinity, and then from that space you might be impulsive of a want or a need or a feeling to connect or a feeling to do. But when you do, the resonance will be high because it'll be seem easy and seamless, very natural. And then you're tapping into a low frequency. When you feel like this is hard, I'm confused, I don't know what to do, I'm frustrated. Okay, Rebecca, tap in. Like, let's cut off some lights. Let's draw down some shades. Let's cut off this goddamn computer for a second. Don't put it in sleep. Just shut down. You know what I'm saying? Even the sound of the whirring of the goddamn fan is just too much sometimes. Because what's happening is that your sensitivity is raising and you're looking for existential means for a channeling or a filtration of it. But the idea is that you have to, like we were saying in the last call, pour into yourself. So that empty cup becomes a pouring in that you're doing and not anything from the external, at least from a magnetization point. And you know, we've talked about things that people are giving you and the things that you're manifesting and things of that nature. And so these things will begin to mirror your meditation because generally people give you things, but they're not always what you want. However, when you manifest and meditate from a point that you are pouring into yourself, pouring into your cup, you know, through meditation, through really holding a strong resonance of primal, pure energy that's undistorted by particular ego needs. But I talk like way too much, so I don't know if I lost you right now.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Thank you. That was a wonderful answer.
Thank you.
I hadn't realized how congested I was, and that's what you just described. That was exactly the feel that I had, which was counter to what I normally feel, that I need to do something.
Mm-hmm.
But everything just said, just stop.
Yeah.
And it was the first time for quite a while that I was just exactly in the moment, every moment. And I also felt like doing that today, but if there was some special window, I didn't want to miss it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And that's the thing. When you're able to kind of stop and give yourself maybe 30 minutes to an hour, maybe in the first 20 minutes, there's nothing, right? But past that, once you get like into full relaxation and fully let go, you'll be able to get the channels, you'll be able to get the transmissions, you'll be able to get the energy and insight and inspiration that you possibly need to move forward. However, if you never take the time and space of energy to get those insights and inspiration, it's like trying to move forward and taking a long trip without gas. No matter where you're going or what intentions you have, you just don't have the energy and fuel to bring it out into realization. So just think of like refilling yourself from a meditation point. And it, because in the first 20 minutes is nothing at all. And so at that point, it feels like, you know, a waste of time. But if you're able to stick with and maintain and relax your body, we're talking about like non-movement, or even to the point of doing perineum muscle meditations, where when you breathe in, you hold your perineum. When you breathe out, you release your perineum, and try to do that for an extended amount of time and bring your awareness to your breath. See, a lot of things are existential that we might worry about, but the idea is to really worry about our breaths, worry about our meditations, and then also worry about our kundalini and it rising. So with the perineum breaths, you know, breathe in very slowly, squeeze that perineum, breathe out, release that perineum muscle. Then you have a full body meditation breathing techniques that's really going to give you physiological responses if you're able to sustain it.
Thank you.
No
That's
problem.
very helpful.
But try it though, and then let me know, because you know these are one of the things that you know will be a good thing to have, like a nice documented experience of the channels and the transmissions that you have once you establish that clear, because you already clear, you're already pure, you're already in the space of an empty cup. Now you just can magnetize or heighten what you want to be filled in that cup the next time.
I will keep track of it, and I will let you know.
Thank you, Rebecca.
All right, thank you. Have a great day.
No problem. Thank you for calling in, because you know what you did was, you know, you helped a lot of people. So, you know, I always invite you to call in. Text me or whatever if you need anything. You already know.
Thank you.
No problem, Rebecca.
All right, have a wonderful day.
You too. Peace out. Peace to the family. This has been a wonderful share, and tomorrow we will be back to talk about some astrology thing for our daily G energy reading. And you know, thanks for everybody who tuned in. Thanks for all the callers. Thanks for everybody in the chat, so forth and so on. If you need anything, the website is www.hoodmystic.com. The email is hoodmystic@gmail.com. And you know, if you need anything, just let me know. Appreciate everybody for chiming in, tuning in, so forth and so on. Appreciate Mama Mystic for holding down the babies. And I got a special surprise for her after this live. Y'all have a good day, and peace to the family.